Can you generate a mobile application with the help of ChatGPT? So answer is yes. How? We will get to know in this video. Before the start of generating the mobile application, one very important concept you all need to understand. How exactly ChatGPT is going to respond, it's completely dependent upon how you are asking the question. And this process of asking the question to ChatGPT is known as putting the prompt. Not each prompt is going to behave in the same manner. So in this video, you will learn how exactly you should frame your prompt so that you can get the expected result from this wonderful tool. There are three very important sections of any prompt. Number one is context. Number two is query. Number three is additional information. In the context, we provide a very specific high level purpose for which you are going to ask question to the ChatGPT. The query is the exact question for which you are looking answer from the ChatGPT. It's the indicator of the action that you want ChatGPT to take. In the additional information, you can provide all the supportive information through which ChatGPT could be able to generate better answer for you. So in the every prompt, you need to involve these three sections and you will able to get very good answers from the ChatGPT. Going forward in this video, we will see that how we are combining this information of putting the exact prompt to ChatGPT in terms of generating a mobile application less than 10 minutes.
As a first prompt, we are going to generate the models for our sample application. And as we have already discussed that whenever you are going to provide any prompt to ChatGPT, it must be divided into three sections. Number one, what is the context? Number two, what is the query? And number three, if is there any additional information required. So in the given prompt, you can see as the first part, we are giving the context to ChatGPT that I want to develop a iOS mobile application that will fetch and pass data from the Open Weather REST API to display the weather data on the single view screen. As the second part, we are asking our query by giving the required API that provide me models for our API. In the last part, we are giving the additional information that you need to consider all the keys received in the API response while generating the models for sample application. Let's see how ChatGPT responds to this particular prompt. Whatever code ChatGPT is generating right now, we will copy it as it is in our Swift file. And in the last of this particular video, we will try to see that whether we are able to generate the complete application with the help of these code snippets or not. In the second prompt, we will try to generate the business data model for our application. We have already given the context, so that's why we are using only the query and the additional information in the second prompt. Our query is provide me the business data model for the data display corresponding to the above data model in the Swift language. And the additional information is make sure all the keys are considered. Now let's see what is the output coming from the ChatGPT. After generating the data models and the business model for your application, our next step is to generate the networking layer. Now thing is, you can make your prompt much more complex in order to generate any other type of the networking layer, maybe the protocol oriented one. But for the understanding purpose, we are taking the simplest example here. So the prompt is provide code for a singleton networking class using the Elmo file library to fetch the data from the given API. Make sure you pass the received data into the weather data model. So let's see what is the code generated by the ChatGPT. Let's assume your application is using MVVM architecture. And I know till this point you have become smart enough to understand the next prompt. Time to generate view model now. So finally, the last prompt for your application to generate the code of UI view controller. ChatGPT is already having the context of your application that you are going to build. The only thing you need to do is to provide your query and the additional information. So in this prompt, you will say, provide a code in the Swift language to create the UI view controller having following UI elements. In this section, you need to provide the list of all the UI elements that you want to build in your UI view controller. And in the additional instructions, you need to tell how exactly you will organize your UI view controller. So after providing these two information, let's see how ChatGPT generate the code for your UI view controller. Now we have all the classes that is required to generate our sample application with the help of ChatGPT. Most of the time we have copied code as it is in each and every class, but on the few of the places we need to do some of the modifications. We have created one nib class for our UI view controller, and rest of the code is as it is as we received from the ChatGPT. The only thing is we have arranged it now in the different Swift files. Let's take a quick look the code that we have already generated with the help of ChatGPT. This is our data model that is generated by the ChatGPT. We have copied it as it is. You can see there is no change. Next we have our business model. This is also exactly same as we received from the ChatGPT. Next class we generated for the networking with the single function only as a singleton. So that code is also same as we received from the ChatGPT. Fourth class is our weather view model. So in this class we need to make some of the modifications, but they are not very major. Still most of the code is exactly same. And as the last part we are having our view controller. So that view controller is also exactly same. But in the last we made some of the modifications in the function set data. We passed that business model at the time of the success when we are getting the data from the API. So this is the very small change that we have made in our code. Apart from that, everything is same.
So I will say code generated by the ChatGPT is not up to the very high quality. It is missing some of the design patterns, some of the programming approaches. It can have some architectural refinements also, and ultimately you need to do some modifications also. But very important point here is to understand is within less than 10 minutes you are able to set together whole of this code. If you are start writing this whole code with the manual approach, it will take around 4 to 5 hours. But with the help of ChatGPT, you are able to generate this small sample application within less than 10 minutes. And this is the power of ChatGPT. This video was a small attempt just to make you all understand that how exactly you can generate the mobile application with the help of ChatGPT by putting some exact prompts. If you like this video, I would love to hear your feedback in the comment section, and we'll try to come up some better videos for you. Till then, stay motivated and keep learning with us. Thank you.